Okay, so today we are going to install OBM Classic, which is something that I haven't done for a little while, but yeah, it should be really cool. So we need to choose, well, we'll be using this specific installation guide slash wizard document that actually is pretty well built. And we're gonna choose some stuff. So first of all, it's gonna be enterprise setup. Express setups enable using default values. No, we're going to do extra enterprise setup. Yeah. Okay. Then we're gonna do install and configure OBM. That's we're gonna do distributed environment. Although it's gonna be single server deployment with a remote DB, and it's gonna be done on Linux. And we're not going to do silent deployment. The reason is, well, I don't really like those. Silent deployment lets you deal with the consequences of your actions with just too much a delay. And since we're not going to do those in bulk, one is good enough. So let's see. It starts immediately with hardware requirements for RAM. So our server has 24 gigabytes of RAM. And we don't have the numbers here combined, but probably 24 is going to be good enough for about 5,000 nodes. And when we talk about nodes, probably we're talking about reporting nodes, so basically data generators, let's say data aggregators, and we're going to have maximum of 200 maybe, but still we want it powerful because so many users are going to use it. So let's go. We're not going to deal with partitions, and the reason is, well, I like to move my stuff a lot from one place to another, change stuff. So the more complexity there is to anything that I do, the harder it is to troubleshoot later. So whatever I can skip, I just skip it, unless it's something that contributes directly to stability. And this is not something that I'm dealing here. So yum install and zip, init scripts, perl, libbio, and that thing. So I'm going to be moving this one. I'll be moving this one to a side over here. And we're going to do a couple of things. So first of all, I already have the zip file over here. And it's going to take it a while to unzip itself. In the meanwhile, we'll be doing the DB installation. So, but still, let's do the prerequisites. It's going to be yum install. And then it says zip, but we're going to just add stuff to this thing, right? Init scripts, let's do Perl. Probably we already have Perl, doesn't matter. We're gonna do this as well. Okay, it's a little bit more complex. So I'm not showing you the document because basically you'll see it playing here on my side, on my screen over here. And of course, I'll link to the document in the video itself. So it's gonna be okay. Now OpenSSL, I think we have OpenSSL. We don't care about OpenSSL because we're going to be using certificates from another source later on when we will be configuring the system with the hardening. Okay, X Windows system, we do. Display environment variable, yes, we do have this too. So basically what you need is Linux with a graphical interface in order for it to work. Okay, so then we go X window emulator, hostname resolution, application coexistence, reserved port. So the firewall is disabled on this machine, and it's becoming pretty normal. And even previously, people were like, "You have your firewall disabled," but now in the cloud era, and the firewalls are disabled by default on hosts, which is completely fine. Okay. Okay, everything is good. Date and time zone, then send configuration, LCore, web server, Apache web server, installation files. Yeah, it seems that we're pretty much okay here. Web browser configuration, advanced security, DNS, turn up compatibility view. So those are all things that we kind of start deviating from the task at hand with this documentation over here to some unknown area. Anyways, buckle up, it's gonna be a long one. Okay, so let's install that one. It's gonna be -y. right? Let's see how it goes. In the meanwhile, we're gonna be doing yum install PostgreSQL. Is there such a package in general, or would it request for some kind of .latest or something like this, and we need to open another guide? We don't know. Let's find out. Okay, so at least it's looking for something. No package PostgreSQL. Okay, let's open another guide. CentOS 7 install Postgres. On another screen, how to install PostgreSQL on, yeah, okay, let's see. So sudo yum update. No, we're not going to do that. In the PostgreSQL contrib. Okay. And then we're gonna run a couple of commands. Okay, so let's do just that. -y, just agree to it. It's completely fine. All right, so we got all of those packages installed, and just to make just to make sure we're gonna do yum install zip and init scripts. This is not necessary. Okay, so Postgres is installed. We're gonna do this, and we say gonna agree and continue with the PostgreSQL setup. We're gonna do just that. Initializing database. Okay, database is initialized. Let's add it to, let's enable the service, and then let's add the service to startup. So that's gonna be a part of our Postgres setup. Okay, configure, okay, sudo password Postgres. So we're gonna do that, and we'll create a very secure password. Okay, then we're gonna do source Postgres. We did with password, new password. So we're gonna use the user Postgres, so we're not going to use another one. And apparently I need to bleep my screen over here, which is that's a reminder to myself, bleep the screen. Author Postgres with password, and it's going to be yes. Okay, that's about it. Auto row, that is done. Yes. Work with database, create DB. Okay, so create DB is done automatically by, let's clear that. So it's gonna be done automatically by the OBM setup. So we're not going to deal with creating the database tables ourselves, or at least the databases, right? So that's not something that we're gonna do. Create tables, view content of table, delete tables. Okay, so seems that we are getting to a specific consensus, but we still need to do a thing. So let's do find slash minus I name PGHPA, I think. This is the file. Oh, come on. We need to find it as well. So the thing is, out of the box, Postgres is blocking all access from external sources, and we need to change that. So in order to do that, the name of the file is pghba.conf. So we just do that. Yeah, there we go. Nano. Okay, remember guys, this is a long one, so bring some tea. Bring some tea. It's gonna take us a while. All right, fantastic. This is the one. Okay, and oh, so this is not something. Okay, so we'll add this to the end of it, and if I remember correctly, those are sequential. So whatever it meets first. So this is about what kind of connectivity it supports from outside world. I'm not really sure that I did it the right way. We'll have to see how it plays out later. Although usually this is the way to go. So I'm pretty confident with that one. Yeah. Okay. There is another variation of this with ident, so we'll figure it out. So it's gonna be find slash minus iname, find this file. No, we got two of them. So I would be guessing that varlib PSQL. That's the one. Okay, we did not copy the right one. So that's completely fine. Let's do just that. Second one. Going over here, page down. Connection, yeah, listen address. So by default, it's listening on local hosts only, even when it's commented out. But we need to put an asterisk next to it or star. Okay, like this. And I believe that we need to alter the port on which it works. We need to check the documentation real quick over here. And in the yes, connect to existing. Okay, no, the default port is completely fine. I think I saw a comment here or there that it needs to be a little bit different. So I'll just reboot the server. Why? Because, well, if all those settings did not hold up after reboot, probably I would need to make some other decisions. And you know what? I should have been powering it down. So we'll check how it comes out later. We'll check how it comes out later, and if the database is accessible and all the settings were saved, and then I need to create a snapshot. So in case my suite installation, or let's say OBM installation, corrupts the database, I would have a snapshot to revert to instead of fixing stuff. You know, the best way to fix something is to click the undo button, right? So let's see just that. Reconnect, everything is cool with it. Yeah, history is good. Yeah, it has all the stuff that we had, and yeah, well, that doesn't seem like one of those that you need to verify every single thing, so it's going to be power off. Yes. And then when it comes down, we will right click and snapshot it, and then put it back online. So there we go, snapshot. And we're going to call this snapshot db installed. Fantastic. Okay, let's let it run, doesn't matter. Okay, let's go back to our OBM and see what's up with that one. So we need to unzip this file first, of course. Okay, unzip. Is it -d? Yeah, probably OBM -d suite, like this. Yep, fantastic. I should not have been capitalizing this folder, but it's completely fine. Gonna be my mental reminder to myself to actually remove the folder later to save some disk space. Okay, so we're gonna, you know what, for entertainment purposes, and because I don't like to accept license agreements over on the screen over here in SSH, although it doesn't matter me too much, but we're gonna end up in the desktop environment anyways. For the sake of this, we'll just go and connect with our DP to our server over here. So it's going to be OBM, and then it's going to be RDP, and then we will move it here. Fantastic. So if everything works correctly, we will see the desktop environment here in a sec. Yeah, there we go. Nice. So we'll go to our terminal. Let's expand it to a full screen. LL. Yeah, sweet. CD, sweet. Fantastic. So let's see if it's done. Is it done? It is done. Okay. Now we're gonna see some action. Yeah. Go for it. Install SH. It's gonna run it with the GRE. Of course, we could do it with console, but consoles are for another time. There's plenty of software that we can install using console. So let's do something different, like Windows Experience on Linux. Why not? Break the mold. Break the mold. Okay, and now we're gonna watch. At least this thing is spinning on the screen. It's a little bit entertaining. A little bit. It's completely fine. It was like 6 gigabytes of archives over there. So let's give it a moment to read them all, see how it goes. And in the meanwhile, let's see that the settings of our OBM were actually altered to what we need. Because I don't remember, I created so many versions of this server because of some template issues. No, 8 CPUs and 24 gigabytes of memory should be sufficient enough. Let's go back over here. Okay, operations bridge is being configured for your system. Great. Great. Now when I look at myself, maybe all of this light is not very beneficial for the sake of this video. We'll figure it out. OBM DB, yeah, everything's cool. And this is where we speed up our video a little bit.
Shut up and sit down.
Okay. All right, some action. Fantastic. Yeah, that's what happens when you try to Single server, yes, it's gonna be single server. So my experience shows that OBM is very stable, and it in direct proportion of how much resources you throw with it. So the separation of gateway and processing servers is not something that I would just go and do because it's the best practice over here. There are other products where I would be sticking to the best practice as much as I can, but this product is pretty solid. It's pretty solid. I mean, on half of those resources, I have been running this product for weeks under certain load and seeing issues only after a big while, right? Long while. So it's completely fine. Okay, let's see operations configured. Okay, operations bridge manager, shared content. Yes, yes. Please click on install button to continue. Okay. Okay, a little bit of a tricky situation over here. I guess we just need to wait it out. So let's wait it out. Let's wait it out and see how it goes. Click on install button. Where's the install button? Let's review the pre-install summary. Okay, so it's still thinking about stuff, yeah. So per the document, let's click. Let's open the document for entertainment purposes. Oh, come on. What? Come on. For entertainment purposes, let's review the document and you'll see that this is how it's supposed to look like. You see all those small icons? I guess it's very fun to look at those small dots in YouTube, but yeah, this is how it's supposed to look like. And then we click on install. And from this point on, the only thing that we need to do is just wait, right? So there are no secrets. So as you see, there are no too much choices or crucial choices that you need to do, nothing that you weren't prepared for. But later on, we're gonna make some other decisions / configurations on the setup wizard, which is completely fun to do. And so the video would be just jumping to that point. All right, moment of truth. So let's see, configure OBM, yes please. Okay. Yes, custom configuration, yes. That's it. Create a news database schema. So it's going to be Postgres, not embedded. Okay, it's a little bit slow over here, just let it run too much. So it's going to be OBM DB, admin username, admin password. It's going to be something like this. Then username is going to be OPSP, and password something among those lines. Let's see if it works, or if we need to fix our TLS. No, we're not going to use TLS. So that's our TSN event, and it doesn't want to. Ooh, it actually worked. Okay, so here in the wizard, we chosen to upload certificates, and the weird thing, I took the certificates from the CDF, self-generated certificates, which do have a CA, certificate authority, in it. Can't open it right now, not sure why. Let's minimize that window for a sec. And that one, maybe the open files hiding somewhere in the background. There we go. So we have the CA-CRT, and this message says, well, the certificate does not seem to belong to a CA. So it seems that OBM is looking for a specific criteria inside the certificates in order for it to work. And you know what? I've seen it before on Sidescope, I think, where I could not use the built-in certificates. So instead, I'll just go back and I'll say, well, generate the certificates, and I'll override them later with my own settings, which is entirely possible. Well, because this is a wizard. It has like maybe one or two variations of possible scenarios, while certificate world is so complex that, well, how can you deal with that, right? So anyways, so we just keep the defaults over here. We continue to client certificate. We're not doing client certificate. The port is 443. Everything is good over here. Evaluation for 60 days. Yes, please. We don't have a license at this moment. Now we'll set the passwords. Real quick over here. That's one. That's two. That's the benefit of having a POC environment in general, or a POC setup, at least partially, right? You just, okay, so those are not matching. Probably the first one. Yeah, and the graphics, well, it took me 2 days to return to this point. This is why it a little bit lags behind. So Java on Linux server without a proper video card, I would say, it kind of lags behind at some point. So number of monitored nodes, we'll say up to whatever. We'll go to advanced over here, and let's see. So crap, it did not refresh. Maybe I can resize and we'll see what's going on. Yeah. Okay, so I can modify how many gigabytes or megabytes of RAM it occupies. So as you see, RTSM, for example, 310. Yeah, let's see how much it needs. So OPR backend, and I'll set it to those settings. I just don't want to deal with memory issues later. And installed required. So I don't have enough CPUs to accommodate for all of this. So you know what? I'll go with the medium setting if I still can. Yeah, the GUI here doesn't do us any justice, which is the blame of my server, nothing else. So I'll go with this setting just to give just a little bit of memory distribution to my whole setup. It doesn't affect anything. It's just memory allocation, and dealing with them on one-by-one basis. I don't really want to, right? And looking at this, I actually see that required. It's well, it's a little bit of misleading. This required. It's required for the minimal for it to run just, let's say, once, but in general you want to have more, then you allocate because Java, right? Okay, we go with the next, and we'll go and do AWS management pack, Kafka, Apache Web Server, BPM, yes please, diagnostics, Docker, Google Cloud, maybe Hadoop, no. I like out-of-the-box management packs. Later I can of course update them to a new version, but when they come out of the box, choose them. It's a good idea. Okay, let's resize that again. It's a little bit of embarrassment over here, but yeah, what can you do? I let this wizard stay like this for 3 days. Okay, JBoss, yes. Active Directory, no. IIS server, I'm not going to have IIS server, come on. Let's let it refresh. Okay, we're almost done, I promise. Vertica, yes. VMware, of course. TipCon, no. Skype, no. Sitescope, yes. SAP HANA, hard to decide. No, not at this moment. Oracle database, definitely not. I just don't have it. I don't have the Oracle database. It happens. And I think that's about it. So those are the management packs that I'm going to use. One last opportunity to check everything. It's all good. We click on next and now we wait. It's gonna take a while. So I'm just gonna either speed it up or cut it out. I'm not sure yet. Depends on how much time it takes. Probably, yeah. So because we are kind of lagging on the GUI, I'll just cut it to the end of the installation because basically everything that you will see is just green statuses popping up here and there. All right, so see you in a few. So now the suite is installed and one last step remains for us is just to start it. So we're gonna run this script, just copy it from the installation help file. We're gonna go to our OBM and run it. Didn't I copy it? Probably I didn't. So I'm just gonna copy it from some other source. Probably I have a copy paste issue on my computer. We're just gonna do it like this. Okay, that's really interesting. Let's reconnect and just paste it, and the copy paste doesn't work anymore. So basically what we need to do is just go and do this. Opt HP BSM scripts, and then it's gonna be run underscore HP BSM. And the recommendation here is to do a restart, not just start, because, well, we cannot probably assume the current status of every single component. And that's it. Our journey begins over here. It's gonna take about 1 hour for it to start for the first time, which is completely fine with me. We just need to know that the first time it starts, apparently it maps something to a database or something like this. It just maps all the settings that it needs. So the first time that it runs, it's going to take a while. Every next time is going to be much, much faster. And this is exactly what I'm counting on. So this ends our OBM install and setup video. However, there are several things to do. First of all, there's going to be a dedicated video for migrating the OBM on CDF, well, settings from OBM on CDF to a new CDF, or sorry, to a new OBM classic installation. And we're not going to do any database migrations. There's going to be package-based migrations, which is completely it's fun. And there's going to be a another video about how to use the CDF or item platform-based certificates in order to make this OBM, the old classic OBM, work with them. As you saw in the wizard, it just wasn't accepting them on the fly. And we're gonna do a video about how to make the security work. So stay put. I hope you like this video. Subscribe to this channel. See you in the next one.